Hi everyone. In this lecture series, we are going to see the topic cryptography. The cryptography comes under the network and data security. So the first thing we have to know what do you mean by a cryptography. Cryptography, it is a method of storing and we are going to transmit the data in a particular form so that the process can be read. The cryptography is related to the disciplines of both the crypto analysis as well as the cryptology. So it includes some of the techniques such as microdots, merging words with images, and it is used to hide the information. So suppose if we want to send the message will be secured. So for that, we are going for some of the terminologies in the cryptography. So we will see the terminologies in cryptography. The first one is plain text. So what do you mean by plain text means whatever the messages we are going to store or we are going to transmit. Anyone can read the plain text. But in case of the encryption process, what is the actual meaning of the plain text is termed to be as the encryption. The next is the cipher text. The result of the encryption, it cannot be unreadable. So the third parties cannot read the information. That is cipher text. Decryption means the method by which the original image of the cipher text can be recovered is called the decryption. So what do you mean? Simply we can say what do you mean by decryption means the process of converting the cipher text to plain text is called decryption. So in between the transmitter and the receiver along with the encryption and decryption process, we are going to use we are going to use another input which is nothing but the key. So what do you mean by key? Without key we can't transmit the data. So key is a secret piece of information which is used for both the encryption as well as the decryption in cryptography. Along with the terms cryptography, we have to know what do you mean by cryptanalysis and cryptanalyst. So the science of retrieving the plain text, the messages we are going to receive from the plain text we are going to retrieve plain text from the cipher text without knowing the key. So there will be no key, just we are going to retrieve the information. That is script analysis. The people who practice the analysis by knowing the secret information is known as the cryptanalyst. The next one is the crypto system. So we are going for many algorithms, key, and we are functioning many management key functions. So these comes under your cryptographic operation. So suppose if we want to convert the plain text into ciphertext, for example, I'm going to give a normal sentence. We love discrete mathematics, but here the plain text has been converted into the ciphertext. So we don't know what the information that has been stored in the ciphertext. Again, we have to retrieve back the original message so that the cipher has been converted into the plain text. So in this diagram, so we know the normal sentence, that is we love discrete mathematics. When it has been converted into ciphertext, we don't know what are all the messages. So it will be a combined of the alphabets, and finally if it is converted into the plain text, it will be the original message. So next one, we are going to see the cryptography methods. So in cryptography methods, we are having two types of keys. One is symmetric key, another one is asymmetric key. So here, what is the difference between the symmetric and asymmetric means? With symmetric key, the key is used for both encryption as well as decryption process. So the sender uses the key to encrypt the plain text and send the ciphertext to the receiver. So in this symmetric key, we are using only one key. That key is used for both the encryption as well as decryption. So that symmetric key cryptography is also called as secret key cryptography. So that is the difference between your symmetric. Another one will be your asymmetric. Suppose if we want to convert the plain text into the ciphertext, we are going for the encryption process. If we want to convert the again to plain text, it has been converted from the ciphertext. So that we are using the decryption process. So in that symmetric key cryptography, we are using the shared secret key. That shared secret key is used for both the encryption as well as the decryption process. The next one is the asymmetric. So it was developed by Hellman, and here we are using two types of key that is will be used for encryption as well as decryption. So it has both public key and a private key. So the private key will be kept secret, and it will be used in the receiver side, but the public key may be freely distributed. So that the asymmetric key, it is nothing but if we want to convert the plain text into ciphertext, the encryption process involved. Again, if we want to convert the back to the plain text, the decryption process has been involved. So here we are using both the public and the private keys. So while we are coming to see the difference between the methods of symmetric key cryptography and asymmetric uh, cryptography, the same algorithm with the same key is used for encryption and decryption. The key must be kept secret, and it will be decipher a message if no other information is available, will be in the symmetric key cryptography. While coming to that of the asymmetric key, we are using only one algorithm. It is used for encryption as well as decryption with a pair of keys, one for encryption process and one for decryption. So one of the keys must be kept secret, and here it is impossible or at least impractical to decipher a message if no other information that has been available. So here these are all the differences between the asymmetric and symmetric key cryptography. So where we are using these application in ATM. So the why we are using in the ATM means the password should be protected and it should be secured. The third person cannot I cannot hack the messages or hack the money. So the password should be secured, and it should be privacy. So that we are using in electronic voting, in securing data. So if we want to access the control, so it will be useful for the Paytm. And if we want to send or convey some messages to the other person, the information will be secured. So the third parties cannot track the information. For that, we will protect a password. So these are all the applications of the cryptography. Thank you.